Here we are again, LinkedIn Live, Indigo Elephant. Hi, Elsbeth.
Hi, good morning. Well, at least it's good morning over here. Yeah.
Yep. So what's the topic today?
Well,
What do we
we
do?
were last week talking about the real life issues that CEOs encounter in their daily lives, right? And so we said, okay, well, let's do some LinkedIn Lives about really the practical side, about how we tend to go about with these kinds of business problems and what we would do instead. Or what kind of questions we would ask instead, or how we would start off the whole project instead of what we are used to doing, because it will give some more practical ideas and hopefully some inspiration also for people to start seeing and thinking about in different ways than we are used to doing, within the background, of course, the principles that we always have in our back of the minds, like how we show
live
up
it.
and how we live it, right? So today, and we know there are several issues. I mean, you can look it up. We can see the researchers. What kind of problems are the most pressing at the moment? So perhaps you could shed a little light on that as well.
Yeah, I did some research for the angle of sick leave and just finding the right people and keep the right people. So I did some research on the internet and found some articles. What are the most pressure-giving problems, waking you up at night problems for CEOs nowadays? And we came with several. But the most obvious, and I really would love to dive deeper in this LinkedIn Live together, but number one, you will hear everywhere, and that's how to be with AI. And when I saw that at first, I was like, oh gosh, there we go again. Just okay. And I listened to a podcast earlier this week, and this lady shared that we have the angle of everything measured instead of following the real story we need to tell. So measurement is fine, but we outsourced all what we can measure, and we got a gap in how we follow our intuition and what we really need to share. As she had the angle of storytelling, so what story do we tell ourselves? I found it very interesting to see. So it's a culture. It's a culture of overrating measurements, science, and just the common sense we lost to be in touch with. So AI, yes, CEO. If you hear the word AI, what comes up to you? So what is your angle, Elsbeth? Because you did your research too, I know.
Yeah, well, I thought, okay, well, let's see how this plays out if you design something around AI coming from like current ways of thinking, and what it would be if it would be like more a soul designed company. How would you take a look at AI in a broader perspective? So I think in the conventional response would be that we start an AI program. We have a steering committee, we ask the experts, we tend to train everyone, of course, so that everyone is on par and knows how to deal with that.
Understand AI.
Understand AI, but also to adopt KPIs, of course, to measure the outcomes. And this is all useful. It's not being said that this is not done in a sole design company, yet these questions and these interventions all start with the technology itself. We put intelligence before the tech. So that's a totally different outlook, right? So instead of asking, like, how do we implement AI, we could also take a closer look at, well, if that intelligence, that artificial intelligence is becoming abundant, what is then uniquely ours to contribute? And how should our organization be designed around that? Or another question could be like, how can AI amplify what's uniquely human in our organization? So it is not that AI is simply then layered onto an existing organization. It's more that you first kind of distinguish certain elements which you otherwise would completely overlook and just put it on top of everything else that's already there, and thus also amplifying what's already there. And I understand that CEOs are not really in favor of another 6 months transformation program to really unravel what's going on. And it's not necessary, because if you are starting with different outlook and different questions, you get different responses and thus different actions.
Yeah, as we say, slowing down and speeding up. So if you slow down and look under the hood of your organization to see what's really, how your engine is running. And is there any technology what can really help you in your soul's purpose of your organization? Then it's just a add-on, but based on a clear foundation or a clear overview of the engine of your organization. That's a total different view than getting nervous. Oh, we have technology, we have to do something with it, otherwise our competition will be ahead of us because we don't do it, we don't understand it. And then it creates chaos and pressure, and it distracts the focus of the foundation of your organization. So it's more an integration question with the understanding what's the architecture of your and soul's design of your organization. But what I see nowadays, that technology and the pressure is distracting. Just before we started this, I used the phrase, when emotion goes up, the intelligence goes down. And if you act under pressure, you get into a survival mode. And the survival mode is never able to really look what's needed. So what is your perspective on AI if you just slow down? And in my case, I would say go to your heart. Just from a neutral, more neutral, or at least calm response. See how you can really benefit of the new technologies, what are there. And go out of the feeling threatened or under pressure mode, and weave it in a way that everybody can feel comfortable, because it's in the foundation of being really moving forward, rather than, oh gosh, I don't know, and oh, I have to do something, let's do so many other kind of trainings. And if you just look around, how many organizations are offering or using AI training programs to survive? And for us, it's not the case. The case is, look underneath, look at your organization. But do you dare to ask the question you haven't asked yourself before? How are your listening skills to what's really going on? And if you calm down, take a breath. You know, if you're listening, just take a breath and can you see a different perspective? I think that's the angle we use as the Indigo Elephant, to have another perspective from a calmer state of mind or state of being.
Yeah, well, it also comes down to discernment, I guess, and creativity, and to say, when you are not simply answering the basic question, but really taking a closer look at how human effort might be replaced by something which can do that far better. You might look from it like an angle of cost reduction or increased productivity, but and, you know, it's not either or, it's like and, it's and, yes, great, and what does that mean for the organizational intelligence as a whole, the ownership of people, the meaningful contribution? How does that reflect into the decisions that you make in putting AI in front of everything? And I think when you really start to look into these questions, then you are asking also your mind to go a level deeper and come up with different answers to those questions.
Yeah, because under pressure, just test it out. If you really feel pressured, you react impulsive rather than taking the responsibility to make the decision what works in the long term. Impulse can be that angle. But most of the time it's just short-term survival. And what we do differently in the Indigo Elephant is daring to take the long-term perspective without losing sight of the short-term challenges.
Yeah, of course. And I know that it's also in the research, right, that many CEOs are now really would want to take the time to have more an outlook of like several years, but they kind of feel forced into taking the actions now with a 1-year perspective. Of course it is understandable, and you should take the actions that make sure that your company still thrives and survives in this madness, I would say. Our self-created madness, might I add. But so many already feel that it's not going to help if you are rushing these things. I mean, you can rush it today, and in 1 year you have the same problems times 10. I mean, so what is it that you as a CEO need to do or need to be? How do you need to be and show up to really ask that different question? Like, oh, AI is here. Let's see what the tech can do for us, and no, stand still and say, hey, how can this amplify what is already working for us very well? Hey, if this would be normal, how would our organization operate, and reverse engineer from there? It's also different outlook than just doing what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, and the quick fix of a problem, what's in your face, and that can be AI, and the others we will come in the upcoming LinkedIn Lives, but a quick fix barely gives a long-term good result. So if you know that, it's really at your advantage to really take that look and see what's necessary. And it's not only feeding your KPIs. And then you can say in 1 year, oh yeah, just look at my KPIs, they are fine. Yeah, but you're running without fuel. Because you just use all your time, effort and focus on the quick fix. And you get out of breath. You can't keep rushing. You can't keep running a marathon without taking a rest and really be in a good condition to have the stamina to take a long turn. So if you dare to let go of the quick fix, and you can invest in the long-term solution, then you are ahead. So I think that's how we look at the elephant perspective, and just opening up that space for conversation to what's really needed.
Yeah.
Without a quick fix.
And it is not that these kinds of different questions or just taking that time is costing time. I mean, that sometimes I hear that back there, but that will take so much time. And I said, no, it's not. It's just you come from a different perspective and a different question, and the answers will show very quickly, because these answers are righteously felt. So it's not that it's taking more time. It's just the idea that you have as a fixed mindset that it might take more time, or it might, just like transformation takes time. It's not true. I mean, transformation can be really fast if you do it in the right way, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's important also to add to wrap up, is that it's not taking more time. It's still addressing everything that you are addressing today. It's still creating with what works today. It's stopping with what's not working today, and it's adding something that is relatively new to the business, but not relatively new to humans. And humans are the business, right? So in that way, it's really, it might even be so that you quantum leap your results by diving into these questions instead of doing what you know already.
Yeah, I think the Dutch advertisement is saying it right. If you just count the results of the past, it's not guaranteed in the future. So take these golden nuggets. Just speed up because you dare to look at what's really needed. And next week, we will dive into another CEO topic. So if you have questions, let us know. And to be continued, I would say.
Yes.
Slow down to speed up.
Right. Thank you for watching and take care.
Bye.